If you have been diagnosed with osteoporosis, it can seem overwhelming, right? The basic advice you've probably received is take vitamin D, take calcium, weight-bearing exercises, and don't do anything that's going to hurt your spine. And what exactly are those things? So I'll put a link to a video I did right about here about exercises and movements that you're not supposed to do because it tends to put more of a strain on the anterior or the front part of the vertebral column, which already is starting to lose a little bone density, and we can end up with wedge fractures. So how do I do something simple like doing a load of laundry and picking up a laundry basket without rounding out my spine and potentially giving myself a spinal fracture? Well, I'll teach you. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. Ed Deboo, physical therapist from Integrated Physical Therapy in beautiful, sunny, 80-degree Bellingham, Washington. When you think about doing a deadlift, you get this vision of these muscle guys pulling 400-500 pounds off the ground. And you're like, well, no, that's not for me. I have osteoporosis, for God's sake. I'm not going to go do a deadlift. But however, the actual movement of a deadlift is one of my favorite exercises, and I'm going to teach you how to do it safely because I really want you to do that every time you have to bend over to pick something up. I'm a firm believer that all of us should be doing at least 10 minutes of strengthening exercises every day. And if you haven't seen the video I did on mountain climbers, I'll put a link right up here. It's a simple but yet powerful exercise that works on speed and reaction time, as well as a little bit of impact based upon your current status so that you can actually build a little bit of bone density. Now let's get into the deadlift a little bit. A lot of times when people want to lift something up, this is how they do it. I want you to notice how rounded my spine is. I'm not really bending my knees very far. My back is pretty rounded, and then I'm lifting that up. And that's putting quite a bit of strain onto the small of my back. So that's exactly what we don't want you to do when it comes to osteoporosis because of the impact, remember, on potential wedge fractures. So how do I do this? So what you'll do is you're going to have a basket. Now, when you do the laundry basket, make sure you've got one with some solid handles here because we're going to be adding some weight to this laundry basket eventually. So this one here is pretty sturdy. And what you'll have to do first is learn how to hip hinge. And the difference is here, I'm getting all my motion from my hips as opposed to rounding out my low back. And the difference is I'm driving my hips back. I'll put a link right up here to another exercise video I did that talks specifically how to do the hip hinge if you have trouble doing the hip hinge. Let's assume that you know how to do the hip hinge. And now what you'll need to do is hip hinge, and you're going to probably get a little stretch in your hamstrings, and then you're going to bend your knees a little bit until you can reach the laundry basket. And then when I'm here, I'm going to push my feet into the ground, push the ground away, and I'm going to stand up. So it's a little bit different way of thinking about it. I'm not going to lift the laundry basket up as much in my mind's eye. I'm pushing the floor away, so I'm using more of my legs to do the work. At the end of this video, I'll put a link to my playlist that has all my osteoporosis videos, just to make it easier to find everything in one place. And now don't worry, I'm going to show you how to modify the deadlift as well too, to make it easier for those that have some trouble. Once you understand how to do the movement, and it feels pretty comfortable, then add a little bit of weight to the laundry basket. What works really well are gallon jugs of water. So you can start off by putting a couple of those in here. Same thing, I'm going to square up here, I'm going to hip hinge, I'm going to engage my core, I'm going to come down to here, and I'm going to push the ground away, and I'm going to stand up. Push the ground away, and I'm going to stand up. A multi-joint exercise is one that works many muscle groups and many joints at the same time, as opposed to a bicep curl, which is a single joint, which is a fine exercise, but we're really just kind of isolating the bicep. Something like the deadlift combines arm strength, core strength, hip and leg strength, so it's an excellent exercise. So once again, part of my mantra of 10 minutes of strengthening a day, the deadlift fits in there perfectly. Now, how many should I do? I'm a fan of repeating it for at least 2 to 3 sets of anywhere from 8 to 12 repetitions. And then what I want you to do is have those last few repetitions be a little bit challenging. You don't have to go to complete failure, but I do want you to work hard so those last few are a little bit of a struggle. Maybe you're breathing heavy and you're really working hard because you have to provide enough of a signal so the muscle comes back stronger. If you'd like to learn more about strengthening exercises, not just for osteoporosis, but for life in general, make sure you subscribe right down below here, because I love posting videos about exercise and just how to keep us healthy. Things to watch out for with the deadlift. If you start to experience lower back pain or knee pain, then the first thing I want you to do is lighten up the load. But let's say you just are still having trouble lifting up that basket from the floor. So then what you do is, let's modify it. But Ed, I've got a back injury and I can't bend over that far and I just have a heck of a time doing the laundry anyway. Maybe I won't even do the deadlift. Now hold on. What you might be able to do is just put your basket up on a table or a box so you don't have to bend over just as far. So same concept here. I'm going to come right through here. I'm going to engage my core, so my belly button in towards my spine, scapula in the back pocket. I'm going to hip hinge, but the nice thing, it's elevated, so I don't have to go very far. I'm going to come right to here, and then once again, I'm visualizing not pulling up on the laundry basket as much as I'm driving my feet into the ground. And I'm telling you, you'll feel the difference when you do this exercise. As that starts to get easier, add some weight to it. Remember, our goal is 10 minutes of strengthening exercise every day. Add the deadlift into the mix. It's a great way to build upper and lower body strength, core stability, and just help you feel stronger and hopefully stay independent a lot longer. All right, thank you for watching. Get your laundry basket, start deadlifting. I'll see you later.